Hey everybody, Joe Hakos here. This is the Conservative Syndicate. This land is your land. This land is my land. Hey, blah, 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 blah. The Democrats are beside themselves again, taking to podiums in America to lead Americans in song. Yeah. But they can't show up for their respective committee assignments to confirm Donald Trump's picks. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that great? President Trump continues to make good on his campaign promises. John is still on vacation with his wife. Joe Hakos here. Me, I am running solo still. Audrey Russo will join us in the first hour, and Don Dix will join us in the second hour. So listen up. Glad you're here. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Glad to have you, and we can't wait to get this party rolling. Thanks for being here.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
Yes, political correctness is out. American exceptionalism is back, ready to re-empower our republic as one nation under God by restoring our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, with your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet, baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your hosts of the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Yeah, that's right. I am here. Just Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate, flying solo once again. But I do have some help coming on board here in just a little bit. Audrey Russo will be here from Real Talk, and then Don Dix in the second hour from Act for America. So yeah, I'll be here, and they'll be here, and we're all going to be here. We'll be here, unlike some in the Democrat Party who just can't seem to make it to their job because they're just whining little sniveling babies. Yes, elections have consequences. Remember, that's what you told Republicans in 2008. You know, you want to reach across the aisle and work with the Republicans? And they were like, well, here's our proposal. Well, that's just too darn bad. Sit down and shut up. Well, hell, you're not even wanting to show up now. You know, you're going to have to get over this. The American people aren't going to put up with this for very much longer. I can tell you that. It's not going to work out very well. Keep on going. And President Trump, I think we can all pretty much get on board with President Trump saying he knows how to work the media. I think we all can say that. He knows how to work the media. And I believe he's going to start doing more than just sending out a bunch of tweets. So, these Democrats better wise up. I get it. Nancy Pelosi's safe and Chuck Schumer's safe in their districts that they lord over. But some of these other Democrats in states where Donald Trump won that state, these so-called red states that have Democrats up for re-election, you better start. You better start doing your job. People aren't going to put up with it. I mean, for crying out loud, what do we have yesterday? Crying out loud. Sorry, no pun intended. Crying out loud. We had Chuck Schumer yesterday crying about Donald Trump's his ban, immigration ban. It's not an immigration ban to begin with. It's a religious test. It's not a religious test. I need my daughter. Thanks, Chuck. Bring the children. And then you have no class at all. You're going to bring your own children into it. Just, what a schmuck. Anyway, so what do we have? Well, see today? We see. Oh, Nancy Pelosi and her friends. I mean, it don't really. Come on, this is what they're down. This is what they're down to now. This.
Does this work better? No. As staff, sound people, shall we sing "This Land Is Your Land" again until they get the sound working? This land is yours.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island.
Yeah. Woo, that's someone wrote the words down for me because I don't know them.
This land was made for you and me.
Yeah, me.
I
was walking down, blah, blah, blah. I should be doing my job, but I'm not because I'm out here because I don't like Donald Trump. And I'm singing to Americans, and I got all my friends behind me, and we can't even get a stupid microphone to work. Yeah. You go, Nancy. You go. You got nothing better to do but sing "This Land Is Your Land." Mm-hmm. Just keep on delaying, keep on stalling, because, well, that's what you do. That's what you do. So what else did they do today? Wow. Let me just... Tyler Durden from... This is Zero Hedge. And this is just... full-out war between Democrats and the White House broke out today when 7 Democrats today refused to attend a committee vote for 2 President Trump's more controversial nominees. Yeah, controversial. Mm-hmm. Effectively delaying their consideration. Democrats on the Senate Finance Committee boycotted votes to advance Tom Price, Trump's pick to head the Department of Health and Human Services, and Stephen Mnuchin, his selection to head the Treasury Department. Oh, my goodness. Oh, just crazy. Just, whoa. Here's the rub. Since at least one Democrat must be present for the vote to be held, the move effectively delayed and potentially prevent the confirmation votes on Mnuchin and Price. The duo is among the more contentious selections to join the Trump cabinet. Why? Because, well, they're not Democrats. And we know what that, and they both have a past. The Democrats walked out of the Senate Finance Committee hearing room, arguing that Mnuchin and Price misled senators in their testimony before the panel and saying they could not allow a vote to proceed without more information. Bull. Minutes before the scheduled vote on the pair, Democrats said they refused to enter the hearing room until they get answers to their questions about Price's stock purchase in an Australian biotechnology company. Ooh. Hey, watch that glass house you're living in there, Senate Democrat. At a minimum, we believe the committee should postpone this vote and have an opportunity to talk to officials at the biotech company. Senator Ron Wyden, the top Democrat on the committee, told reporters He said they'll be willing to move forward on Price and Treasury nominee Steve Mnuchin only after their questions are answered, especially on Price, whom Wyden is suggesting hasn't been straight with the committee. Both Price and Mnuchin have been targeted fiercely by Democrats on a range of ethical issues. Price was pressed on his investment activity in various medical companies. He's a doctor. Gee. You going to invest in stuff you don't know about or stuff you do know about? And whether he improperly mixed his political activity with his personal portfolio. Hillary Clinton? Did you do anything like that, Hillary? You think you might have done anything like that? I don't know. Hillary, you think you might have? I don't know. Oh, no. I don't think this would have happened for her. No, I don't think so. Not at all. Anyhow. Mnuchin's time at the head of One West Bank and whether it treated homeowners facing foreclosures fairly was central to his testimony. He misled Congress and misled the American people, said Senator Ron Wyden. He's a Democrat from Oregon. And a top Democrat on the panel said of Price. According to Hill, Republicans spread outrage at the move, while Democrats gathered outside the Senate Finance Committee hearing room to outline their gripes and selection. I can't understand why senators who know we're going to have these two people go through can't support the committee, said Chairman Orrin Hatch, Republican from Utah. I'm very disappointed in this kind of crap. Very disappointed in this kind of crap. Very disappointed in this kind of crap. Oh, I said that just for emphasis, okay. Some of this is because they just don't like the president. This is the most pathetic thing I've seen in my whole time in the United States Senate, Hatch said. And he would try to hold a vote on the nominees later today. And Mr. Tyler Durden writes, expect a furious Trump tweet slamming the Democrats' opposition momentarily. Yeah, momentarily. All right. So we're about that time. We need to do some breaks here. We need to pay some bills. We're going to pay some bills to go to the right. Go take this break. And as soon as we're done with that, we'll have Audrey Russo from Real Talk on with us. And so we'll be right back. Stick around here. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate.
We're not arguing. We're explaining why we're right. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
Yeah, American. Yeah, American. This land is your land. This land. Oh, sorry about that. Got a little carried away. You know, getting a little Pelosi-esque on you there. Sorry, don't mean to. Hey, everybody, Joe Hakos back on the Conservative Syndicate here, and I am joined right now with Audrey Russo from Real Talk. Audrey, how you doing?
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to survive. I think I'm starting to catch a cold, so I'm a little bit. I don't know. I'm just a little off.
You mean like the left? Oh, I'm sorry, they're way off.
Oh, I'm not that far off. Although we could. Hey, if you want to, I'll get. Hey, my microphone's working. I'm like Pelosi's. You want to sing a song?
Oh, do you want to hurl or what?
I mean, yesterday Schumer cries, and what do I see last night? We got Pelosi singing songs to America. I'm just like, are these people for real?
Such freaking hacks. I can't stand them. I really can't.
I'm just this is just ridiculous. I can't believe this stuff is going on. It's just like, and then they don't show up for their confirmation hearings.
Yeah. Well, you're really surprised by this because it's all about them and getting hold of power.
Yeah.
Power. They don't care how they do it. Remember, they don't care, and of course they're so sure they have the mainstream media on their side, so that'll cover their tuchus. So they'll just basically do whatever they want, but they are looking loonier than ever, if that was even possible. That they were off the charts already.
Well, they were pretty much been off the charts for quite a while, but this is hitting new records. I would think, because this is just look. Do they really think they're going to stop this? All they're doing is prolonging the agony, and some of these folks are in red states.
Yeah, they look like clowns, just like Trump has said. And then we had, of course, the I guess what was Emmett Kelly? Was that the clown that used to always be crying? Then we had the head clown Schumer. Who unfortunately is, I don't know if you heard that statement where and they're taking pictures because he's such a camera hoe. He really is. I mean, you take the cameras away and he'll resign. I'll tell you right now. And I'm not really sure what does he think he looks like, but my reaction is I want to stick my fingers down my throat. Okay.
Really?
When I see him, please. Oh my gosh, he's an emetic. He he is. Forget about looking at something gross. All right, to make you sick.
I mean, come on. Listen, come on.
Does it for me.
I named my daughter, her middle name is Emma, named for Emma Lazarus, the great poet who wrote those lines on...
Yeah, I wrote those lines on the Statue of Liberty, blah, 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 blah. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then... With I'm just wondering, think about where were his tears? There's so many things that have happened. Where were his tears? Where were his tears when Obama put a ban on Iraqis coming for 6 months to come to this country? I don't know. Did I miss that one?
Didn't happen. Hey.
The Kleenex wasn't flying then, was it?
No, it wasn't. How about Sally Yates? Where was her damn principles then? Oh yeah, for those that might not know,
so
Sally Yates was the person. Sally Yates was the person fired by President Trump yesterday for not following his executive order for the immigration pause. Yeah, come
on. Well, she's an appointee of Obama, but of course, it just shows you the hypocrisy. You're not doing it. You're not doing it on principle. It's all politics. You didn't. If you didn't do it when Obama did that, if you didn't have the same, don't defend this.
How about this? How about this part? Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Remember that? That's in the oath that they take.
Yeah. Well, we all know what they think of oaths. They think they're just as fluid as the Constitution.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why they should be thrown on their ass.
Yeah, they think, of course, they think all these things are amorphous because they don't like them. See, if they were written the way they like them, then they would say they're in concrete, But since they don't like them, they say they're amorphous. And sadly, what they're doing is indoctrinating kids on their parents' money. So who should be smacked for that is their parents. In academia, and you say them because what you see on the campuses today and what you see with these protests all over are sadly dribbling idiots. Not because God made them that way. That's because they made themselves that way. That's because their parents hate to send them to so-called elite institutions that pour drivel into their brains.
That's just indoctrination camps is what they are.
Of course, and they after the next 8 years, because I'm so sure he'll be in for 8, they're going to be worse than Obama, if that's possible. They're going to be worse than him because what you see there are the future's leaders, okay, on the streets. What are you protesting about? We don't like what he says. Who? I don't know, but we don't like what he says. Yeah.
Meanwhile, protest. Yeah, these protesters like the path to $15 an hour. And then what did I see? I saw a robot filling up coffees.
Well, they're putting themselves out of jobs.
Thank you.
Those are entry-level positions. Those are not career positions. Nobody says, when I grow up, I want to work for the rest of my life at McDonald's. That is, those are entry-level positions that gets you used to the marketplace. But when you start telling employers they have to give you 15, are you kidding? With past a college degree, okay, with having done graduate work. And I wasn't getting $15, and they want $15 for not even flipping the burgers, okay? Just packaging them. So that's what you want for taking orders, and that's what so guess what happens? You lose your job because guess how much our hamburgers would be.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No one's going to pay for that. And it's like, okay, fine. You put yourself out. So you know what you better do? You better start getting a job, learn how to repair the machines that are servicing our hamburgers.
Yeah, well, they're of course a lot of those places are just closing up because it's not worth it to them. A lot of those restaurants. I mean, remember something now. Most of us have waited tables, and we made, of course, nothing except our tips, and our tips were good. You work hard, you get good tips.
Yeah.
So what's disappearing from the areas like in San Francisco is all these restaurants. They're all disappearing. Why? Because they can't afford. How much do you think people are going to pay for food? If you're paying the waiting staff $15 an hour, that's besides tips. Come on.
Well, you're going to have, instead of having 10 waiters, you're only going to have 2.
Yeah. And so you're going to go out of business because they can't handle an entire restaurant.
No, heck no. And service is going to go down. It's just a snowball effect. But
of course, it's this incredible ignorance to how the market works, to how business works. I mean, it's probably one of the most brilliant things I ever heard is when I had a young kid in my youth group that he went to a private school, and there, in their senior year, one of the assignments was that they are to either conceive of a product or a service, and they have to create the business themselves and run it. And some of them, came up with some great ideas, and they actually sold some of their products. Why? They understood what it costs to run a business. Mm-hmm. When you understand that, then when you go and purchase something, you understand what's behind that. We have incredibly ignorant people in this country because the left made sure they got into the system, and they're not teaching capitalism. They're teaching socialism.
Yeah. So, the state will take care of you. Well, the state subsidizes them throughout their entire lives, though.
Yes, but who's the state?
Yeah, me and you are the state.
Yes, until we're gone. Then they are slaves to the state.
Yeah.
And then they decide whether you are obsolete.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I like that
obsolete
one. Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's true.
Seems like our conversations always revert back to that.
Well, but but isn't it apropos today?
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, and so people ought to get on YouTube and look that one up.
Yeah, and take a look at that and see what you're headed toward. Yeah, I mean that was on. He did that for a reason, to remind people. Because remember, Rod Sterling, he fought in World War II. He knew all about it. We know what we fought back then, and today they're not being taught that. They don't know. When you have a lot of people coming here that don't care about our country whatsoever, they just basically, in my opinion, are raping the country. But they are flying their own flags from their own countries because they don't want to be Americans. Americans are offended by that. I don't know. Are you? You're a veteran, aren't you? Offended
more
by that?
than I hate. Truthfully, I can't stand. I see these people with their little flag hanging from the rearview mirror and stuff. It's like, really? I grew up in Pennsylvania. I don't have a Pennsylvania state flag hanging from my mirror.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It just bugs the crap out of me, actually. So you're trying to push my buttons, aren't you?
Well, there's so much today to irritate you. I tell you the truth, you have to be stone cold. You have to have a stone cold heart not to be upset by something. But this is our country. You come here. We want to know that you want to be an American, not that you come here and you want to take what we have. You like our blessings, but you can't stand us or our values. Well, get out.
Yeah. Well, don't get out. Don't come.
Yeah, well, if you're here, get out.
Yeah, get out.
Because you don't want to be in America. You don't want to learn our language. Yes, that is our language, despite what Democrats say. We don't have an official. Yes, we do, Nimrods.
Yeah.
We have an official language.
Yes, we do.
And we can't be speaking all different languages. What happens to public safety? All right? There's just a bunch of schmucks. I have no problem with someone knowing more than one language. I think it's great if you do. But we speak English here.
Thank you.
American English. Okay.
Yeah, we might not speak it well, but that's what we're trying to speak.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still American English.
Yeah, so it's like, stop this crap. I mean, it is kind of, as Chucky, the rat, was trying to put across, with the Statue of Liberty. It's, I'm sorry, Chucky, the melting pot. Yes, we're a melting pot. Mm-hmm. Except those folks coming here now are not melting into the pot.
Well, of course not, because they don't want to be Americans. Again, they just came here because they want what we have. They don't want to put in what they are disrespecting those that have given their lives for us to have this. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're all upset about this, but we had 100 and some people just inconvenienced in airports. Meanwhile, we've got veterans dying, killing themselves every day. We're $19-20 trillion in debt, but that's what we got to focus on.
Yeah.
Hey, Audrey, we're coming out at the bottom of the hour, so we're gonna have to pay some bills here. So. Just kind of keep something in mind. I'll send you a little message, but we're going to pay some bills here, all right? Mm-hmm. All righty. So, Joe Hakos, Audrey Russo here on the Conservative Syndicate. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back after we do so stick with us, folks.
State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-380-2906. That's 800-380-2906. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-380-2906.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Hey, I told you we'd come back. Joe Hakos here with Audrey Russo from Real Talk. And we're just sitting here having a little conversation, just a little chat. Yeah, just hanging out. Appreciate Audrey coming by and helping me out again today.
Sure. It's great to be here.
Yeah, John's still out there playing games, somewhere in the world.
In the Philippines, it's hot there, isn't it?
I don't know what it is there.
No, I think it's hot there all the time.
Yeah, I think it's just, it could be warm. I just know it's a long, far, far away. It's not anywhere near me.
Yeah, it's a long flight. Was it like 13 hours or something?
Yeah, it's 3.5 years, and I think I think you have to do 17 different stops, and I
would never make it, man.
I think you have to feed the goats and the chickens along the way too.
Oh,
yeah. Speaking of goats and chickens, hey, Donald Trump, President Trump says he's going to... Hold on. Let me read it here. Here's the tweet. I have made my decision on who I will nominate for the United States Supreme Court. It will be announced live on Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Yay.
So...
the three top serious picks are all good. All pro-life, in their personal opinion, pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, and pro-traditional marriage.
That would be Neil Gorsuch,
Gorsuch,
Tom Hardiman,
and William Pryor.
I would vote. I vote for Pryor.
Yeah, but I don't know the other two gentlemen, but I hear good things about them.
Yeah, they're all
good.
We'll yeah. Well, we heard the same thing about some other guy named Roberts.
Yeah, well, I don't know so much how good he was anyway in the first place, but I won't get into that. But we know that he's a weenie. With all due respect to the position that he holds, he was the one that when Obamacare is finally repealed. That's a bigger slap to him because he basically said okay to a tax, which was oppressive to all Americans.
Which did not initiate out of the House of Representatives, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You could say he's a Republican, but I'd say establishment.
Yes, let's just call him that because the establishment's just...
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking the establishment. You want to talk establishment? Looking at Never Trump, Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse called the refugee moratorium a signal to jihadists. And he goes, the president is right to focus attention on the obvious fact that borders matter. At the same time, while not technically a Muslim ban, this order is too broad. There are two ways to lose our generational battle against jihadism by losing touch with the reality. I mean, this guy has no clue about what we're fighting against, because if we stop the refugees from coming across into our homeland, we're not recruiting any jihadists. They don't understand. No matter what we are infidels. It doesn't matter.
When are they finally going to get that? For 1,400 years, ever since the original jihadist Muhammad led bloody campaigns to take whatever he wanted, land, people. This is and whatever the booty of war was for him. since then, every once in a while, they rear their ugly head once again, and somebody, when they were smart and had testicular fortitude, would grab a big stick and smack them back into the cave.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the ideology. When that happened, then you had relative peace for a while. But starting, and sadly I'm going to say this because I love Reagan, but I know from my producer who was getting ready, he was in a company getting ready to respond to the attack on the barracks in Beirut. And when he pulled back from that, Reagan, that was the beginning of the paper tiger. Then, of course, every administration since then, and of course, sadly, the Bush would call it a religion of peace, which was one of the most. And as much as I think he's a very nice person,
he's wrong.
Yes, he was dead wrong. He couldn't be more wrong, and he fed the beast by doing that because it was an outright lie about Islam. It showed incredible ignorance about it, and I'm not calling him stupid. I'm saying on this issue he was incredibly ignorant, and to make that kind of proclamation, you just fed the beast.
Yeah, it's willfully too. That's the problem. It's a willful ignorance.
Yeah, just because the majority of people, because remember, the majority of people that are in Islam didn't choose to be in Islam; they were forced into it. And so, of course, they shut their mouths, and most of them have not read the Quran. Most of them can't read because they're illiterate. But most of them have not read the Quran or the Hadith, because if they did, they wouldn't be Muslims anymore. Not if they were decent human beings.
Yes.
Now that I give my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's based on my guests, and they know best.
No, I don't actually disagree with it. I think it's the same thing. These people, the same thing we see now and today. Why is there a reason these people are refugees? Why do we have Saudi Arabia sitting in that area of the world with I don't know 100,000 air conditioned tents that they reserve for the Hajj?
Yeah.
When they all go to Mecca, and so it's like, really. You could help out your neighbor there. Oh, great Saudi prince. But yet they refuse to take these people in. It's the same BS we hear about the quote unquote, big air fingers quote here, the Palestinian problem with the Israelis.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. It's like, look, your own kind does not want to have you in their midst. So
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So, but there, of course, the Saudis are. You can get into that discussion. It would take many shows to talk about them and the Wahhabist sect. So, but yeah, they are part of the problem. As a matter of fact, their money is behind just about every mosque in this country. And guess what? They ain't preaching peace. All right.
I don't believe they're preaching peace.
Just so you know, because there is no peace in the Quran. You can try to pull peaceful verses out, but as a whole is extremely violent. And it says what you can't get by deceiving infidels, you take by violence.
Thank you. Exactly.
So, that's, the people know. Now, am I saying that all Muslims are laying in wait? No, not at all. I think I've met some very gracious people who identify themselves as Muslims. But you're not following the Quran as written, because if you were, you wouldn't be my friend.
Yes, thank you. Exactly, because you wouldn't be allowed to be your friend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Seriously, that's what's written. So I get that. But it's like, I believe that entire religion needs a reformation, just like the Christians had to have a reformation.
Yes, but what does that mean? Okay, reformation means go back to the original. Okay, so there is a reformation in Islam. The Reformation in Islam is ISIS. The Reformation in Islam is Al Qaeda. They went back to the original.
Okay.
That's the original.
Well, that's not going to work out.
But that wasn't the same in Christianity. I would personally not use that as an example, because what happened is they were going away from the scriptures in Christianity. In this case, when they went away from the original, what was happening? Not jihad. That wasn't happening. Jihad is the Reformation. It's going back to the beginning. And remember, he was a very, very violent person.
Yes, I get that. So they can choose to do whatever, but it's not going to end well.
No.
It's seriously, it will not end well. Just like all this crap going on in our country right now. It's not going to end well. These people they want violence.
They want anarchy. So, they're such puppets in the hands of the left.
Yes.
They don't even know. When you go out to these protests and you put a mic up to them and ask them what they're protesting, they don't even know.
I don't know. I'm protesting because it's a day that ends in Y.
Yeah. That's about, that sums it up.
Yeah.
They have no idea. You scratch beneath the surface with just about every leftist that's shrieking. And you just start with a question, scratch beneath the surface, and they go ballistic. Why? Because they can't defend it, because they don't even know what they're talking about.
Exactly. I have no clue. It's because, some of them, exactly, and it's just what they've been parroting. So it's like, okay, you can get a parrot to do this. Hey, Audrey, we got to take a break.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back. It's a shorter break. Joe Hakos here with Audrey Russo here on the Conservative Syndicate, and we'll be back right after the break. And stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, the adult in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring. And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Yes. I got one with me today, Audrey Russo. Thank goodness. And it's hard to find someone like her, I think. Well, I don't know, Audrey. Is it hard to find someone like you up in New York?
Yeah, I guess I might be a rarity.
I mean,
population-wise, yeah.
I mean, there should be quite a few of you up there. I mean, the percentage-wise, with I don't know, with 77 billion people in New York, you would think there'd be more of you up there.
Well, there's probably some in hiding, some I know of, and but not a whole lot.
No, come on.
It's New York City. What do you want?
Yeah, I know. Well, I can always dream, can I?
Right, that's old bees dreaming. Then you'd be a lefty, so don't do too much.
Oh, yeah, well,
that.
no. I'm not going to dream like that.
That's you don't live in your dreams.
No, I'm not going to live. But I can dream that there's some people in New York that believe in freedom and liberty, and
there are some, but there's not a whole lot.
I find that that's kind of typical though for in the big metropolitan areas where people depend on the government to just to even get around most of the time.
Yeah. Well, this is why if New York keeps up what they're doing, you're going to end up like Detroit.
Oh, God, no. Please, not that.
Well,
was it now? Speaking of that, wasn't it heading that way before? And then what's his name? I think you had some neighbors that came by and kind of pulled you out of that.
Yeah. Well, De Blasio worked under Dinkins, and Dinkins was before. Dinkins made a real toilet out of our city, and then Giuliani came and rescued it. Mm-hmm. And there were tough policies, but it was safe to walk in the city again. But now it's going back to, remember, he was under Dinkins, De Blasio, so he's bringing some of that putrid nonsense back. And you have the homeless again. They don't help them. It's like they think it's some kind of they're giving them dignity. How do you give people dignity if you're allowing them to sit in their own feces? Okay, I'm sorry if someone's eating right now, but how is it that you're not giving someone dignity? If you really cared about them, then take them to Bowery Mission, get food, get cleaned up, let them be who God wanted them to be. But when you let them sit on the street, they defecate, urinate on themselves. They take money and they're drunk all the time. So you think that that's something that's good? That is inhumane, and yet they pat themselves on the back that they allowed them all over the streets. Somebody explain that to me.
Well, I can't explain it because I personally I couldn't live there.
Yeah.
And truly, I couldn't live there. I don't think it's just not me.
Yeah, well, it's why God has people born in different places. We could deal with it because we're here in New York, so we grew up here, so we're used to it. But I'm saying that there is this is what's coming back.
I think you're there to help remind people that it could be better, and it doesn't have to be that way.
Well, absolutely. It's up to them whether they listen. People who have ears to hear will.
Yeah, well, so blind they can't see, though, yes.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. It's just amazing how this is. It goes back to that, and it's getting.
Yeah.
Let's just be quite honest. Let's be honest. To live free and have liberty and be self-responsible takes a lot of effort.
Of course it does, because the easy way is to be a slob, okay, and lazy, and not caring about yourself or others. I guess that would be the easy way, meaning no effort involved.
Yeah.
But that's a surrender of who we're meant to be. We're meant to work. So, people always looking, I can't wait to take a vacation. Well, okay, vacation is a time for rest and a time for work. But work is a good thing. Work is not a negative thing. It's a good thing. We're made to work. We're built to work in different vocations. It's a good thing. I never look at work. I love work. I work all the time. But there's a time for rest. But most people think that they love to live on vacation. Well, I don't think so. It wouldn't be so special after a while.
No, exactly. You have to. You kind of get to the point where, hey, you got to get out and do something. It's funny you say that, and I just recall this quote from Ulysses S. Grant. And here, let me read this to you. Labor disgraces no man. Unfortunately, you occasionally find men disgrace labor.
Yeah. How true is that?
Yeah. So when you were talking about work, I just tweaked my brain again, and so sorry. We seem to be a little disjointed today, but I think we're getting to some salient points that basically it's time to look at what's going on and don't sit down and take it. You are going to need to go. Donald Trump won an election. Did you remember that? Did you know that?
Yes, but that's the first step.
Thank you.
No, because our enemies have not stopped.
No, and obviously, they're shown they're not going to stop.
Of course not. They have plans to take what we have away from us. Remember, they love to live off other people's money. So they have plans to take it all back. So we better fight and stand, because our policies, like Reagan had said, even to Democrats back then, they weren't as leftist as they are now, saying we have a better way. Join us.
Yeah.
Because our policies will bless everyone, and of course, bless everyone. Work. Do something. We're not going to work and you get to collect, okay? But these policies give you dignity. Work gives people dignity. It's you feel. We're in a society now with kids are getting. Just because you showed up, you get a trophy.
Look what Obama gave Joe Biden.
Yeah. Oh. How cute!
Yeah, I know, but that's what it was. Well, hey, look, he got the same thing when he first took office. He got a Nobel Peace Prize for showing up.
Please, for showing up. That's basically it. So, but you know what? You can have that, but it's hollow. There's nothing behind it.
Yes,
that's what work is a good thing. Work brings us dignity because we can see our accomplishment. We can see something that was done. We know when we don't deserve a gold star. Okay. You shouldn't get one for showing up.
Yeah. No, you should get, exactly. You should have a little sense of accomplishment. And without that, how do you determine your own self-worth?
Yeah, you can't.
And so that's what the people in the street you see are lacking right now. But
we want to
help. Not all of them is their own fault, but some of them it is. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we want to help them, but that's up to them where they want to be helped. Some of them don't even see that they need help, but they need help. They need help.
Yeah. It's like, hey, come on. Really? Yeah. Hey, Audrey, we're coming up to the end of the show, so why don't you let everybody know how they can, check all your stuff out on basically, it's Thursdays, right?
Yes, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can check it out at audreyrusso.com. And our guests this week are Alan West, Diamond and Silk, and direct from the UK, Tommy Robinson will be with us again. Oh. So it's a great show.
I know some of them guys. I've seen some of them peoples before. I got a picture with Mr. West.
They're great people.
Yeah, I've seen Mr. West before at a certain
He's
events.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like Alan. He's a down to earth kind of guy,
Very much so. Yeah, he has great humility. And so do our ladies, Diamond and Silk. They crack me up. They're true patriots. And I am a great admirer of Tommy Robinson and his courage. And, he's written that book, Enemy of the State, because although the Muslims attacked him, the state there, the UK government, did worse to him and his family. So he's going to be back. He knows what's going on. He gets it.
So some good perspectives. So folks, join Audrey and listen to it. And they can listen to your show anytime they want, Audrey, by going where again?
Go to audreyrusso.com. You'll see an on-air button. Just click on that, and that'll take you right to the page. So if you miss the show, you can hear it later. But it airs, the first time it airs is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday evenings. And then it gets picked up by other terrestrial stations for the weekend. And so you might be hearing it in your area as well.
Yeah, cool. Very, very good. Audrey, thanks for coming by again. I appreciate that. Maybe next time John will be here.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure always. God bless you, Joe.
You too, Audrey. Thanks again, and God bless. Be safe.
Amen. You too.
All right. Thanks, folks. We're coming up to we're coming up towards the top of the hour here, so it's going to be time to do the Edwards Notebook thing, and then do the top of the hour stuff, paying some bills and that kind of stuff. So, kind of stick around with us. We do appreciate you being there. I really appreciate Audrey Russo being on there with us. I would just love to have her there. Just some awesome stuff. So once again, stick around. We'll be back. Don Dix will be with us on our second hour. And Joe Hakos here at the Conservative Syndicate. So we'll be back after we do our top of the hour stuff.
If a group of black Chicago thugs beat up and torture a white guy who supports Donald Trump, who in their right mind gives a rip if the thugs hated their victim or not? Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, the last time I checked, you, myself, and every other American have unalienable rights, which include the right to choose who to support for President of the United States. Our unalienable rights come from God and cannot be obstructed by an abusive government or knuckle-dragging thugs. You have a right to live for your own sake, not according to the will of criminals in or outside of government. It was unbelievable to learn that Chicago law enforcement officials struggled to charge the thugs because they couldn't discern if it was a hate crime.
Hate crime! Hate crime! Hate crime!
Well, who cares? How about assault and battery for starters? The thugs even had a female cheerleader who recorded those imitators of vicious chimpanzees. I don't care if those black thugs hated their white victim or not. Throw the bums in jail for a long, long time and let them sort out how they feel for decades behind bars. I'm Ron Edwards.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth. You can continue to blow away the myths with Ron Edwards on Facebook, Twitter, and theronedwards.com.
Since its founding, America has always been admired and envied throughout the world for its system of government, one that empowers its citizens to seek their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No other country or nation in history has benefited from its diversity simply due to the opportunities available to anyone from anywhere. But there have been and are those who envy our freedom for a very different reason. And today we find ourselves as never before being threatened by this formidable foe intent on our destruction. For this reason, Act for America exists. Act for America is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan, grassroots national security organization with over 300,000 members and 1,000 chapters focused on educating, engaging, and mobilizing citizens and elected officials to impact legislative outcomes to protect America against terrorism both here and abroad. As a result, our network has driven the education process toward the successful passage of 43 bills in 22 states. We continue to expand our nationwide volunteer chapter network, training citizens to recognize and help prevent criminal activity and terrorism in the United States while preserving the civil liberties protected by the United States Constitution. To find out more, check us out at actforamerica.org. That's actforamerica.org. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. The Conservative Syndicate.net, the adult in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
Yes, political correctness is out. American exceptionalism is back, ready to re-empower our republic as one nation under God by restoring our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, with your host, John Matthews.
It's a latter-day prophet, saying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your hosts of the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Holy cow, that's me. Hey, thanks for being out there. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. Our second hour. Yes, second hour. So again, I don't usually get to it. I'm so forgetful about this. Hey, go to our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, where you can get all our archives and you can read all about our panel, our contributors, like Audrey Russo and Don Dix, who's going to be here in a couple of minutes. You can find out about what they've got going on, what they've been doing, what they're involved with, and you can get with those guys. And, hey, that's what this show is about. It's about involvement. We want people to stay involved. We have to be more engaged. We conservatives, as I was pointing out to Robert Cardoso yesterday, he kept on conflating the conservatism with Republicans. Not so much. I'm telling you, you got it. That's an old paradigm that we can no longer be counted on, if it could ever have been counted on. So just kind of understand that. So again, thanks for being out there. Our second hour. And I really appreciate Audrey Russo from Real Top coming on to the first hour there. It's always fun to have Audrey on. She gives that little. She can give us that perspective. The big city perspective, let's say, because not all of us are from the big city. And then again, the only other perspective you get out of the big city is what you hear from the extreme media. I don't even want to call them mainstream anymore because they are extreme. Their views are extreme. They're ridiculous. To say the out and out lies that they're out there doing with President Trump's immigration temporary halt is just ridiculous. And it's 90 days, 120 days, and it's still none of it's permanent. And it's not a religious test. There are the largest Muslim countries in the world are not included in the 7-nation ban. I mean, for crying out loud, this is But if you listen to the extreme media out there, you would think that Donald Trump has gotten Steve Bannon and Kellyanne Conway and Reince Priebus and his entire administration out there, and they're building gas chambers, and they're going to put Muslims in gas chambers, and they're going to gas them and say, "Go in and take a shower, you dirty person! You get in there," like the Nazis did. This is ridiculous, and the anti-Semitism. Are you kidding me? Just ridiculous. I mean, it's just unbelievable how dishonest, and that's the major gripe that the American people have with the press these days, is the blatant dishonesty. You crossed the line from journalism into advocacy, and you're not honest about it. If you're honest about it, okay, fine. But you're not honest about it. And that's the part that people are sick of. They're absolutely sick of. And I'm here to tell you, it's just, it makes you wonder. It makes you absolutely wonder. And I got a couple minutes here. I'm going to play a clip here. And this is Kellyanne Conway talking to Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday. And I want you to listen to this. And I got a thing to say about how this works out. So let me go ahead and play this.
The president also got into a rift this week with Mexico after he signed an order calling for construction of a wall and insisted that Mexico was going to pay for it. We got this response from Mexican President Peña Nieto. Here he is.
Mexico does not believe in walls. I've said time and time again, Mexico will not pay for any wall.
And then Peña Nieto, I don't have to tell you, canceled his visit this week.
That was mutual. The president suggested it first on Twitter at about 9:24 a.m. that day, on Thursday.
Well,
so it was a mutual cancellation.
It's not a good thing, is it, that one of our closest allies, our immediate neighbor to the south, and they had a meeting scheduled for Tuesday? You think that's a good thing?
It's a great thing that they spoke for an hour.
Well,
after that.
Having the state visit.
I'll tell you what's not a great thing. Here's not a great thing. It's not great that we have a $60 billion trade deficit with Mexico. It's not great that they allow, because there is no border, there is no respect of our sovereignty in this country, Chris. They allow people and drugs to just flow over that border. Well, you know what?
Kelly, that is an overstatement to say that we have no border and that there is no respect for our sovereignty.
Is it an overstatement? Well, is it an overstatement to say that there are not illegal immigrants, people and drugs flying over the border?
No, that's certainly true.
You know who I want Fox News to go interview? Go interview all those parents who have lost children to opiate use, and all those family members, not even children. It's a scourge in our society. The idea that we just allow drugs to flow over our border and we look the other way, it stops with President Trump. He ran on this. It's been a centerpiece. He signed executive orders this week to do a couple of things. To start construction of that wall, it's a physical wall. But he also, in that executive order, Chris, he has expanded the resources and tools that he will give our brave men and women in law enforcement and our border agents. They simply can't do their jobs. You have to expand the physical space for detaining and stop this nonsense catch and release.
So, exactly. That's how you stay on message. I hope you notice a different change from the last Republican administration and this Republican administration. It's a much different thing. I believe we got Don Dix. He's trying to call in here, so let's see what he has. Let me see if I can get Don to magically join us here. I know this technology is a difficult thing to wrangle sometimes. Especially it's especially difficult since our friends like Microsoft took it over. So we'll see what happens. I don't believe that I can call Don. I think I have to have Don call me. Let me see. Let me try this. Will Don call me if I do? Let's see if I can do that. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be magic. It's going to be magical. Ring-a-ding-a-ding. Okay, we're here at the Conservative Syndicate, dialing for dollars. And Don Dix is now the sixth caller calling in, and if he can get the question right, he will win 50 jumping beans.
What do I win?
Don, did you answer the question right?
What's the question?
How you doing?
Doing amazing.
Okay,
just
then
amazing. How are you?
Mexican jumping beans, Don. Congratulations. You are the winner on the Conservative Syndicate today. Yay.
Sweet. Well, have they been through a proper agricultural checkpoint at the border?
No, we don't play that here in the Conservative Syndicate. We're just about free-range jumping beans.
Free range. Okay, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I
just remember that having to come into California from Nevada and the agriculture inspection station. It was just like, what the heck is that? I traveled all the way from New Jersey to California across in a car, and I get to California. That's the first time I saw that. I was like, what the heck is that?
You want to make sure all the apples you have in your lunch pail are germ and bug free.
It's just like. That's what I knew. I was in a whole different land.
Yeah, and it's still a special place. We have the California legislature today passing out of a Senate committee a bill to name, as if it's not, left coast enough, we're just going to go the full Monty and name the whole state a sanctuary state. Why not? It virtually is anyways, with the number of cities that are sanctuary cities. Might as well just throw the whole state to hell.
Well, okay, great. That's just awesome.
It's great news.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so I guess you're really, you're not collapsing your economy quick enough, so you want to do it that way, huh?
Well, yeah, and that's in addition to, we've got this group that is gathering signatures for a petition to put on the ballot a proposal for Cal Exit, which essentially wants to withdraw California from the Union. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that'll turn
how that goes through. Apparently, the Secretary of State has approved the language, and they're marching right along like the good progressive Secretary of State that they are. And so we have that to look forward to.
So the seventh largest economy in the world wants to go ahead and leave the United States and its union and be its own little. Well, I guess you guys would be a democracy, so you'll have to change your flag and everything.
Well, we'll have to change a lot, and I'm really anxious once this actually happens, if it happens. Of course, we're all. The conservatives in California, for your nationwide listeners, are actually rooting for this because, and I'm rooting for all of the little protesters at the hospitals, at the airports all across the country. I want the left to go all in now. I think that they think that they are near progressive Armageddon with the Trump administration. They're pulling out all the stops. You even had the Democrats on the steps of the Supreme Court holding a rally. One of the many juicy sound bites to come out of that was Speaker Nancy Pelosi coaching, I can't remember whether it was Andre Carson or the other gentleman who is in the House of Representatives who is a Muslim. I think it was the other one, and his name is slipping my mind right now. Do you remember who the other Muslim in Congress is besides Andre Carson?
Keith Ellison. Here you go. Check this one out. Here you go.
Okay.
Does this work better? No.
I think it's what you're talking about.
Staff, sound people. Shall we sing "This Land Is Your Land" again until they get the sound working?
This land is yours. This land is your land. This land is my land.
Yeah.
Aren't you proud?
To the New York Island.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That song, I actually used to like that song, but now I understand the political message behind it. So I'm not a big fan of that song anymore. But at any rate, yeah, at one point during that mess, which was extremely not organized, she leans over to Andre Carson, who's getting ready to speak, and she whispers with a hot mic, "Oh, make sure you remind everybody you're a Muslim." It's like, dude, do you realize, you had all these black, all these, black celebrities, if you will, visiting Trump Tower prior to the inauguration, and then you had the really hardcore black activists condemning them for being moderate blacks, whatever that is, or I think that was their term.
Mediocre, wasn't it?
Yeah, mediocre blacks, not even moderate. Moderate would have almost been a compliment compared to mediocre blacks. But so now we fully understand that Andre Carson is Nancy Pelosi's token Muslim. Make sure you let everybody in the audience know that you're a Muslim. You're part of this group that Donald Trump wants to kick out of America because, of course, now we have a hashtag Muslim ban. Isn't it glorious?
Maybe he should get a T-shirt that says, "Nancy had to remind me I'm a Muslim."
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. And then along with on the back, the symbol, the Arabic symbol for Christian with a circle and a strike through it.
Yeah.
Which is basically, now it comes out, there wasn't a whole lot of media at this time, and this was something that the Trump administration did not necessarily arrange, but at the prayer breakfast following the inauguration, of course, included in this great big, nice kumbaya interfaith prayer celebration was, of course, a prayer by a Muslim imam whose credentials are a little bit dicey. We can leave it at that right now. But part of the surah that he read condemns Christians and Jews, which, not a whole lot of people realize. The 7th verse, the beginning of the Quran that he reads, says that, everybody's cool except, those Jews over there, they're dirty, and those Christians over there, they've perverted the book. They're both outside the kingdom of Allah, but and we'll condemn them. So that was the prayer that this imam reads at the. At any rate, you got me down an Islam. Oh, by the way, speaking of falling down the Islam rabbit hole, you've got Linda Sarsour versus Donald Trump. It's the lawsuit that CARE is so proud of right now, bringing this lawsuit against the executive order, the refugee and executive order, and immigration executive order of Donald Trump's.
Well, what I'm waiting for is the lawsuits and just the left to go ballistic when the Muslim Brotherhood is declared a terrorist organization, and let's see what happens then.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because Philip Haney was just interviewed for an article. I'm going to try and pull it up so I can cite it for the listeners.
Okay.
But Philip Haney was just interviewed, and if people aren't familiar with who that is, he is the former Department of Homeland Security special agent that was he was a founding member of the Department of Homeland Security back in 2002, I believe.
Well, he established a lot of procedures and policies that were in place prior to Barack Obama taking office.
Well, he did. He was actually in charge of something called the National Targeting Center. And the Targeting Center was the division within the Department of Homeland Security. They sat in one of those rooms, that Hollywood likes to glamorize with the hundreds of agents looking at computers and the great big jumbotrons surrounding them, sort of the war room look.
Yeah, the video wall. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of where he sat, and he was following and tracking individuals that were members of an organization called the Tablighi Jamaat. Now, the Tablighi Jamaat within Islam is considered to be a fundamentalist sort of sect. They don't use that word, but division, if you will, within Islam. Fundamentalist in the fact that they are a very, very strict adherents to the Quran, to the Hadith, to the Surah. They live out their lives. They memorize the Quran. There's a special designation for these guys once they finish memorizing the Quran. And wouldn't you know that Tashfeen Malik, who was the wife of the San Bernardino shooter, who came in under a marriage visa, originally from Afghanistan, they hooked up in Saudi Arabia. That's where he flew over to bring his brand new jihadi bride into the country. Well, she was a participant in this fundamentalist organization, Tablighi Jamaat. So Philip Haney, who was responsible for tracking this, ultimately, just to kind of close the loop on this guy, in 2012, he was called into a meeting by the Department of Justice. The State Department. I mean, there's so many of these alphabet soups running around in my mind right now. He was called into a meeting with the State Department, believe it or not, has a civil rights division.
Yes.
And the Department of Homeland Security, which also has a civil rights division. And they questioned him about his quote-unquote targeting, and they actually shut him down, yes, as you said, because guess what? The State Department, under Hillary Clinton at the time, and the Department of Homeland Security felt that, tracking Muslims was a violation of their civil rights, never mind the fact that we're tracking people that aren't American citizens, and that are members of a group out of which spawns people like Tashfeen Malik that believe that jihad is the way of Allah, that jihad is a holy war, that it is a part of what they do. So getting back to the original segue that caused me to bring that up, so Philip Haney is interviewed saying, we've got a trifecta of things that are happening right now. The first, of course, is this quote-unquote Muslim ban that the left has gone apoplectic about.
Which is not a ban.
Which is not a ban, but still. The second is what you mentioned, which is the potential for the Muslim Brotherhood now under the Trump administration. Still can't seem to get that dirty word soaked out of my mouth. I did it again. The Trump administration to designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization, sort of like Saudi Arabia already has, sort of like the United Arab Emirates already has. So why not join in with our, quote unquote allies in the Arabian Peninsula and recognize the Muslim Brotherhood for who they are? So he writes this article saying these things, and there's one other, I'm trying to pull the article up so I can mention it. These are things that are going to drive the left apoplectic, because this whole protest over the weekend, the hashtag Muslim ban, was ginned up because of this special relationship that the left has with every aggrieved group out there. And as far as they're concerned, in the United States, Muslims, being a minority, are an aggrieved group that fits into their narrative that, hey, anytime an aggrieved group has an issue, we're going to crank up the outrage machine. And boy, did they. I don't know if you saw the video of what happened at the at LAX, at the Bradley terminal, which is the international terminal there. There must have been like 3,000 or 4,000 people there. Traffic was a mess. They did the same thing at other airports, I think Detroit. Never mind the fact that you've got people that have paid good money, have nothing to do with any of this, who are prevented from getting to their flights, missing their flights, costing them money, costing businesses an unmentionable amount of money. And they're literally shutting down international terminals because of what? 120 something individuals?
Something like that. I don't think it's even that many. It was 100 something.
I don't think it is either.
It was 100 something, but I don't think it got up to 120. But yeah, inconvenienced 100 some people. And I think I saw the report. They had 500,000 or something come through, enter the United States over the weekend or something.
Yeah, I think the total travel number for a day was 325,000. So, everybody from Paul Ryan, who did a really miserable job, I think, of defending the administration on this, to these great people. I really am admiring the personnel selection that Trump is doing. He's got this guy, Stephen Miller, which, by the way, comes from Santa Monica. He grew up in Santa Monica, went to Santa Monica High School. Do you know anything about Santa Monica, Joe?
Nah, I just know there's a pier there.
Excuse me. Well, yeah, there's
a place to go enjoy yourself by the ocean, but other than that, I don't know much about Santa Monica.
So Santa Monica is pretty much the belly of the beast for progressivism in LA County. This is where all of this is where some of the big progressive activists, if you want to call them that, live in Sacramento. So, you've got an amazing team. I mean, did you see Omarosa on The View just completely shred and disembowel the ladies on The View this week?
Oh, well, you mean figuratively, right?
Yeah, somebody needs to take them out of their misery. But, I mean, he's got all these people that are aggressively taking out the narrative.
Well, he's got Sebastian Gorka there for him as part of his team now. And Dr. Gorka is really, really good on on the Muslim way of life.
On the jihadi issue, yeah.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I'm actually not very happy about that appointment, Joe.
Oh, because
because Sebastian Gorka was a regular guest on our show.
Oh, okay.
And we had him out here for a book signing for his new book called "Defeating Jihad: the Winnable War," and a number of other things. He was a great guy. Originally met him on a trip back to Washington D.C. His wife and he have been consultants. He was with formerly with the Marine Corps College. I mean, his ability, if you've ever seen him.
Oh yeah.
His ability, if you've seen him on Fox, to break this very complex topic down to very salient, penetrating talking points is amazing. I'll tell you more about him after the break.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we got at the bottom of the hour. We got to go to a break here. We've got Don Dix here with me, Joe Hakos at the Conservative Syndicate. We got to pay some bills, folks. So we'll pay the bills. We'll come on back, and then we'll continue this conversation with Don Dix. All right, so stick around.
Red State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, security, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-380-2906. That's 800-380-2906. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-380-2906.
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
That's right. Don't you forget it. Speaking American, Joe Hakos with Don Dix here at the bottom of the hour. Second hour of our show here at the Conservative Syndicate. Go to our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, and check out all our stuff there. You can get our archives and share them with your friends and enemies and have fun with them. Make them nervous, make them excited, whatever it is. But you can figure things out from us, and you can see where we're coming from. And it's always going to be right. How'd you like that, Don?
Yeah, I'd rather be right than get left.
It's amazing. I think, some folks out there, driving all the time, if their cars only turn left, eventually they would end up in the ocean, I think. Out here, that's an everyday struggle. We had enough rain out here. The weekend of the inauguration, everybody was worried about whether or not Donald Trump and the first family was going to get rained out on their special day and America's special day. And it stopped raining, but in California that Sunday we got 4 inches of rain, and that's like normally what California gets all year long. So, we had Governor Jerry. What's that? I said, more importantly, how much snow did you get up in the Sierras?
Oh, so far, twice the normal snowpack in the Sierras.
Yeah, so I heard a report that the guy that's running your water out there that could say, hey, the drought's over, is not doing so.
Well, that's just the point. California, Jerry Brown goes up to a mountain in the Sierras that has no snow in February a couple of years ago or last year, I forget when now, says, hey, we've got climate change that's totally messed up our climate, and California is not going to get the amount of water, so we need to we declare a state of emergency, so y'all have to flush your toilet once a week, take a shower every other week, and draconian things like that. And here Donald Trump's in office for 2 days, and he ends the drought in California. It's just there's so much winning going on right now, Joe. It's impossible to get your arms around. But now, yes, the drought in California has ended. Donald Trump did it just by getting elected. It's good. Everything's good in California now, except we got these knuckleheads that want to remove us from the union.
Yeah, except now you want to leave.
What's that?
Except now they want to leave.
Right. So let me ask you this. So far, I know you're the host and you're supposed to ask the questions, but I'm just curious. What is your favorite executive order?
My favorite executive order? Let's see. There's so many of them right now. Actually,
there are a bunch.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, a great place to go. People should make this sort of a regular. In fact, I would say make this your homepage. The whitehouse.gov, the new administration came in. They stripped out all the guts of the old whitehouse.gov. It was going rampant the weekend of the inauguration that everything from climate change, Donald Trump removed. Well, yeah, it'd be nice if it was, for that reason, but everything got removed from the website, and they're rebuilding it, repopulating it with Donald Trump's agenda and press releases, activities, and all the things he wants on that website. But there's a great section. It says from the press office, and you can go there, find all of Donald Trump's speeches and remarks, his press briefings, and honestly, Sean Spicer, that is the new news hour. That is where people should be getting their news, not watching ABC or MSNBC so that they can interpret what they think Sean Spicer is saying. Sean Spicer speaks in plain language, and talk about transparency. This administration has just got some great people on board, and they are being very transparent. So you can get all the press briefings, the statements, the releases, the presidential actions, including executive orders, presidential memoranda, proclamations, and related OMB material, along with statements of administration policy, legislation. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah,
you just keep track of this, especially during this 100 days, because I don't know about you, but I'm already tired of winning, Joe.
Oh, I'm not going to be tired of winning because we haven't really won anything yet.
Right. So getting back to this, all this stuff is listed here: presidential actions, executive orders. Which one has caught your special fancy?
Well, obviously the ban, the temporary halt.
Be careful.
The temporary halt. Okay.
Right.
That one, because it fulfilled a promise. Securing the border.
Right.
The build the wall one.
And by the way, it's called, the one I think you're talking about, it's called the Protecting the Nation from Foreign Terrorist Entry into the United States. That's the name of that executive order that was signed on January 27th, 2017. It's great stuff.
Yes. The resolution he passed, the executive order he passed that for... what is it? Here you go. Slashing the regulations for every one. For every one, you take away two.
That so far is my all-time favorite because I have been saying for years, wouldn't it be great if not just the federal government, but every state, especially every state that's got a full-time legislature. I don't know if you need to do that in states that have part-time legislatures, but states like California, they want to pass a law, fine, pass a new law, but you got to take 2, 3, 4 off the books. Yes. That's exactly what this does. It is absolutely my favorite. And I'm like, clearly Donald Trump is listening to what common sense people have been saying all along. And, we've got too much regulation. If you want another law, if you want another regulation, if you're the EPA or the Department of Homeland Security, or if you're the Department of Education, and you want to pass another regulation, put another regulation on the backs of the people, on the backs of business, you got to take 2 off the books.
Well, here's the other one I liked. That he put a moratorium and a ban. This is an actual ban on becoming a lobbyist out of his administration, a lifetime ban.
Yep. Lifetime ban on that, and a 5-year ban on going to work lobbying on behalf of foreign governments.
Yes. So again, another campaign promise that he's trying to keep to drain the swamp.
Yep.
And so
he also signed a memorandum to rebuild the United States. That was one of the ones that he signed there on the 27th while he was in. I think he was sitting in the was it the CIA? No, it was the Pentagon.
Yeah,
Pentagon. He was doing the swearing in for Mad Dog Mattis, and he signed a couple of presidential memorandums.
Yeah,
and
the
an executive
rebuilding
order
of the
that
armed
day.
forces.
Yep.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
He also signed that day the memorandum plan to defeat the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria,
Yes,
which
thank you.
requires the Department of Defense to give him within 30 days their plan to wipe ISIS off the map quickly. And I mean quickly.
Well, not just degraded, but how did he put it? Let me see. I think I have this. Oh, yeah, here you go.
We will reinforce old alliances and form new ones and unite the civilized world against radical Islamic terrorism, which we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth.
So, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt what he plans on doing.
That was a beautiful line. That was from the inauguration, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that was a beautiful line from the inauguration. I loved that line. I loved it almost as much when he drove a stake into the heart of the Washington establishment, who is, many of the people, elected people, have become part of. They're all sitting behind him, and he says, I am taking this government from you guys sitting behind me, and I'm giving it back to the people that are standing in front of me.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. His entire inauguration speech, I think he's using it as a checklist right now to do these executive actions, because he's going right down the line, and everything he said in his inauguration, he's actually gone ahead and done something with it.
Yep.
So
he actually has,
and so that's unfortunately, we're going, wow, we're not used to this, but it'd be really wonderful to go, this is exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yep. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't say how exciting it is for the person who is going to be nominated for the Supreme Court of the United States, which is going to come out just about the time we're going off the air.
Yeah, in about 15 minutes from now, actually.
Yep. So I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to get myself a nice, fresh cup of non-Starbucks coffee because, of course, as conservatives now, we're supposed to be boycotting Starbucks.
Well, that's not hard to do for me.
Well, I got to admit, it's hard for me to do because, honestly, one of my favorite pleasures of life is coffee. And I'm going to have to find a new coffee because my favorite coffee so far that I've found is whole bean French roast at Kirkland. It's cheap. Comes in 2.5-pound bags. It's nice, and it's got those great, volatile oils that good coffee has all over the beans.
Oh, yeah,
Makes
I love it too. But you just
Makes a
go
great
buy
cup
your
of
beans and you grind them up yourself and you make your own coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're going to have to figure out something else. I will. But, when the response from these types of organizations is a political statement saying, screw you, we're going to hire 10,000 refugees. Fine. That's a good thing. Except, aren't there a lot of unemployed Americans that you should be thinking about first?
Don't we have some homeless veterans you could go ahead and give a job to?
Right. Yep. Exactly right.
And that's the other thing that my most favorite thing that Trump has done so far is his America First. Absolutely, absolutely, positively, we're going to do things for America first, and then we'll worry about the other things secondary.
Well, and that's the real head scratcher when you look at all these people protesting, and you realize that they haven't read they don't understand what the executive order was. They are being hypocritical because if they were being intellectually honest, they would have taken to the streets and they would have expressed their outrage at President Obama's action against Cuban refugees when he caught hundreds of people midstream coming up through Mexico, coming over on boats, the wet foot, dry foot policy of the past administrations that caught hundreds maybe even thousands, we just don't know, of Cuban refugees getting ready to knock on the door for asylum, and he hosed them. And where's the outrage? Where's the outrage?
Oh, come on now. They're not going to be outraged because it doesn't fit their plans. I mean, for crying out loud.
I know.
That's not a big enough for them. They need more because, and this ain't even about accomplishing anything. The only thing they're trying to accomplish is distract people, drag their feet, try to slow down the process, because if they were able to go ahead and get beyond the nomination process and the confirmation process, they would actually start to have to work on legislation, which is what if we had a Republican Congress that gave a crap, would already be happening.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I know you got to take a break, so before I get into my next tirade, I thought I'd let you segue us out and come in so we got a clean slate.
Okay, well, not a problem. We can do that. We will take the break. It's going to be a short break, though, because I want to get back to talking to Don Dix from Act for America and other things that Don does. He's a star now. I'm so honored. And so you just cut it out there.
Stop.
So we'll be right back after the break, and then we'll continue on here in the Conservative Syndicate.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
That's right. Told you it's going to be a short break. Hope Don's still there. I'll stick to it, man. I'm not like John. When I say short, I mean short. It'd be nice to have John back, though. That's for sure.
Well, it's great to be with you, Joe. It's nice to be able to kick this can around the room with you. There's just so much going on. It's impossible to get to it in an hour, and I know you've got other guests and more time to talk through some of this stuff.
Yeah,
so,
here's the things I wrote down today. Trump reduces regulations for business. Trump announces his Supreme Court nominee. Trump fires Sally Yates. And then I put down here, there's 93 terrorist attacks since 9/11. And then and I was listening to the Kellyanne Conway thing and with Chris Wallace over the weekend. And Chris Wallace goes, what are you talking about? Our closest ally cancels the state visit or whatever to DC, and it's like, really, our closest ally, and they do what they have been doing for the last 20 years, and really, Chris Wallace is just worried about it. And I loved how Kellyanne just said, "No, Chris, really, why are you worried about that when you should be worried about all the drugs coming over, the illegals coming over, and all this and that?" And it's like. So she really refocused, and that's the one major difference I've noticed about this administration is they're not taking the narrative from the media. They are sticking it to them, and they're sticking to their narrative, and they're making sure that they don't let the media define this administration like the last Republican administration was defined by the media.
Well, no, and that's the beautiful thing. I hinted at this, the great people because I asked you if you knew where Stephen Miller came from. He came from Sacramento. He was also mentored as a high school student by David Horowitz from the Horowitz Freedom Center. Mm-hmm. But you watch him on the Sunday, Stephen Miller on the Sunday talk show host, and then on Fox and Friends on Monday, and describing the logic of what it is that the administration is doing. And again, if people would just listen to these people instead of getting their panties in a bunch and understand what they're doing and how good this is for the country. This is common sense stuff.
Yeah.
And all the rhetoric we heard from the media about, and from Obama, elections have consequences. And where's all that conversation? Hey, Donald Trump won. Of course, they had to drum up this entire Russian narrative and challenge his election at every point, giving the electors all the grief these electors were suffering through. The left was hounding them with emails about do your constitutional duty.
Hey, I'm glad you're bringing that up, because on Monday's show, I'm going to have one of those electors on our show, Mr. Peter Feynman.
Cool.
Yes, Peter Feynman from right here in Florida was one of the electors, and he's going to tell us some stuff about that as well.
Right, and it's following him, and so now you've got Trump has taken office. There were all the people that were Barack Obama's going to declare martial law, whatever that operation was, where all the military equipment was moving around the country, and they were like, he's positioning us to take us down. I was like, guys, come on, that stuff's not going to happen. So here we are. He's in office. He's doing what he promised the voters to do, and you've got these great spokespeople. You got Sean Spicer, Stephen Miller, Kellyanne Conway, Omarosa, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And then you get Paul Ryan, who comes out today or yesterday, I forget when, in an attempt, and I say attempt, to defend the administration, because the language that he used was just pathetic. And I know that he's got to position himself for back home and so forth. But he goes, the rhetoric surrounding this issue has just gotten out of control. Whose rhetoric? He makes it sound like it could have been, first of all, he's not pointing fingers. Rhetoric is a generic term. It could have been anybody,
Yeah.
But you got these spokespeople doing such a great job, and yet Paul Ryan comes out, and he's supposed to be Speaker of the House. He's supposed to set the tone. He's supposed to lead from the front. And he says the rhetoric has gotten out surrounding this issue, meaning the executive order on, the ban on Syrian refugee flow, the temporary hold on people coming from these 7 countries,
yeah,
and a reevaluation of our vetting procedures. The rhetoric, it's not rhetoric. It's an agenda of the left to delegitimize Donald Trump. And everybody from his spokespeople to the lowest person in government has got to get in alignment with the fact that the ideology of the left is going to do everything that they can do to delegitimize Donald Trump. So everything that's happening, all these protests all across the country, are a continuation of what happened at the night of the election, when you saw these stunned faces and, oh my God,
yeah,
this really happened, all the way through to today, you've got these thousands of people showing up at airports in an effort that we know was not organic. It was coordinated.
Yep.
We've already outed so many of these groups who were stupid enough to bring. Notice how in some of these airports, they're all holding up handwritten signs. None of them have sort of that pre-printed, organized look. They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And we know they did it on purpose because there were some people that were dumb enough to bring signs touting the organizations that they're representing. And who are they representing? Organizations and groups around the country that are funded by George Soros.
Yeah.
They're progressive groups that are all about destroying Western civilization, bringing down the Republic of America. And so that's who they are. And they are driving a wedge between the first wedge that they're trying to do, both his opponents in Congress as well as the media. They're trying to drive a wedge between Donald Trump and his support in Congress.
Yeah.
Then they're trying to drive a wedge between Donald Trump and his supporters.
Just absolutely trying to scare them. Hey, Don, we got to wrap this up,
Yes.
brother. We're out of time.
Oh, man, we're there already? Well, you're kicking me out? Wow.
Sorry,
that
brother.
goes fast.
Sorry, bro.
Well,
Let folks know where you're at, man.
Well, you can find me on AM 590, which is in Southern California. It's AM 590, theanswer.info. There every night between 6 and 7 with my co-host Jennifer Horn. And Saturday we do a show, and then my gateway drug into activism was via Act for America, and you can get more information about Act for America at their website, foramerica.org, and help us to go out and fight the jihad.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's not over, folks. So we got to stay involved, stay active.
Oh my gosh, by no means.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Don. Appreciate you coming on again tonight, man. So God bless you. You be safe, and we'll do this again.
You too, Joe, and hopefully John is traveling safely in the Philippines as well.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see him next time we get together. So thanks again, folks.
Very
we got to
good.
end the show right now. So God love you. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life, it only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.